Hi, Lisa with Greenhook Studio with another repair video for you. Today I am repairing a crocheted NICU Octopus. This has been very well loved for the last 4 years and I am trying to save its tentacles before they fall off. So let's just dive right in and get to work.
First things first, I need to unbox the octopus and see what I'm working with. You can see here that the tentacles have been tied together for security. So I'm going to take a look at that and any of these loose strands that are hanging out. A lot of these tentacles have broken pieces and are just down to their chain connecting them. Their single crochets have broken and unwoven themselves. So there's definitely some repairs that need done. But first, we have to take it apart so we can put it back together. I'm first going to snip the thread that is holding it together so that I can separate the tentacles and see what kind of condition they're in. With the previous repair removed, I can get a better look at what I'm working with. And here I'm checking out how the tentacles are attached to the body and what kind of condition that attachment is in. Clearly not very good. I heard from the little boy's mother that he liked to swing it around from the tentacles. So I'm not surprised that that happened. First thing that I did once the old repair was removed was just unravel the original bottom of the octopus so that I could detach the tentacles. The tentacles were made as part of the pattern. This is a no-sew octopus, and so I have to undo a few rows so that I can reattach the tentacles in their original no-sew tentacle positions. In order to fix these tentacles, I will have to remove each one by one and recrochet part of it to reattach it to the original body of the octopus. So here I am carefully taking each one off at a time. Here's the yarn I found that was the closest match to the original, and I will get to work recrocheting some of the body before I can do the tentacles. Now here is a very important part of this repair. This is where I realize this was made by a left-handed crocheter. Now I have to figure out what I need to do differently because this was made by a left-handed crocheter. My first attempt, a trial for science I suppose, was to see if I could crochet left-handed. But somehow I forgot how hands work and how crochet hooks work, and this felt incredibly awkward and uncomfortable. Like I could not figure out how hands worked. So this was definitely not going to work. I needed to figure out something different to do to fix this octopus. The first solution so that I can fix the body and crochet a couple rows here was to just finish off the original that was left and then recrochet the other rows right-handed. Just rejoin the yarn and go the other direction. Now, This doesn't really make a difference here on the body because the stitches still look the same on the front. You would just notice them going a different direction if you looked at the tops of the stitches, but you can't see the tops of the stitches when something is crocheted in the round in an amigurumi. So this was a easy solution for this part of octopus. Now is where things start to get a little bit more complicated. I'm about to attach the first of the tentacles, and because it's the first one I'm reattaching, I have to do some trial and error to figure out exactly the best way. I tried 3 or 4 different ways to attach it. I do not show them all on video because you don't need to see all the errors. You need to see the way that works. The first thing that I did was create a new chain so that I could attach that to the existing part of the tentacle. I had to pull out some of the original chain because the single crochets on it were broken and unraveled. So I needed to redo that part. So here I am slip stitching the new yarn to the old tentacle and creating a secure rejoining of the old pieces and the new piece. With the new chain securely attached to the original tentacle, I am now single crocheting back down the chain to attach it to the octopus. And now for another left-handed versus right-handed revelation moment. I right-hand crocheted back down the tentacle, so it curls the other direction. And there is nothing that I can do to make that turn the other way. This right-handed curl will not match the original left-handed curl, no matter how many times I try to twist it. It looks like it's going the right direction, but these stitches twist upward on mine and downward on the left-handed. So I have to figure something else out. So we got to pull this out and try again. With the tentacle unraveled back to the slip stitch join for the new chain, I now am going to do single crochets back up the chain left-handed. Now, I left this part real time so you can see how much fun I'm having trying to remember how hands and crochet works when I use my left hand. I am very, very right-handed. So I'm just showing you the painful part, and then I'm going to let you skip ahead while I struggle behind the scenes. Okay, that felt like an hour, but I did it. I left hand crocheted about, 10 stitches back up the octopus's tentacle, and now it's curling the right direction. They look a little bit different because they're brand new yarn, tightly stitched, but over time they will settle into place, twisting the right direction, just like their friends. So now I just have to repeat that 7 more times. Sounds like fun. But first I'm going to weave in the ends, and then I will crochet a few stitches in between tentacles on the body before I attach the next tentacle. Because these stitches are so tight, it's kind of hard to pull the needle through. So, fun fact, that blue rectangle that I use to help me pull my needle through tight spots is actually part of a tourniquet from getting my blood drawn. If you ask nice, they will cut off a piece of that for you before they throw it in the trash. Now moving on to tentacle number 2. I am going to be repeating the same process I figured out on the first tentacle that worked. So I am just unraveling to a safe, secure spot here on the old tentacle, and then I am creating a new chain to use to attach it to the body again. And then I will attach it with some slip stitches and then recrochet back down the chain to connect to the body left-handed. So basically taking 3 times as long, but it's what works to create the correct curl and the right result for this mend. So that is what I am going to do. Our friend now has 2 tentacles again. And oh look, by the magic of video editing, he has 3 and 4. And now a quick color change so that all the tentacles are not all done with the reddish section of the yarn. I wanted to use all the colors of the variation in the yarn to coordinate with the tentacles better. With all the tentacles reattached and all the ends woven in, I am now going to finish the body of the octopus. I switched to a blue yarn that I had that matched the original blue of the bottom pretty closely. So I will be closing up the bottom of the octopus using this blue cotton yarn. The octopus is now finished, and I will add a little stuffing to freshen it up before I close up the hole in the bottom and tidy up any other remaining ends or fuzz that may be anywhere on the octopus's body. When finishing up an amigurumi or crochet stuffed animal, I tie several knots in the closure and then make sure to weave the long tail through the body several times so that there's not a chance of the bottom of the stuffed animal opening back up or a tail coming loose at some point in the future.
And now the octopus is all finished. He's ready to go home for a lot more love and play. This repair was a little bit more work than I thought it was going to be, a little bit of a left-handed adventure, but I'm very pleased with how it turned out. So I am going to hurry up and get this in the mail and get it back to the little boy who misses it very much. Thanks so much for watching, and if you have anything you would like to have repaired, please contact me, greenhookstudio@gmail.com. I would love to see if I can help you out. Thanks for watching. See you back here real soon.